single missed $75 buy now. Pay later installment that goes to collections can drop your credit score by up to 150 points, and it stays on your file for 6 years. That is according to Collector HQ's 2026 analysis, and it is happening because BNPL is now starting to appear on Canadian credit reports for the first time. Stick with me, because that quiet change rewrites how banks and landlords judge you. I read the fine print so you don't have to. Here's what happened. Equifax Canada now includes data from Select Buy Now, Pay Later providers and consumer credit files, according to NCFA Canada and BNN Bloomberg's 2025 reporting. TransUnion Canada is preparing to add BNPL data in a separate section that underwriters can already see, even before it feeds into a score. Why does this matter so much? Historically, most standard pay-in-4 plans in Canada did not show up on Equifax or TransUnion at all, according to creditresources.ca, so lenders simply could not see them. Now, for providers that report to Equifax, your BNPL balance and payment history appear on your file, and underwriters can factor those obligations into whether you get approved. This touches a huge and growing group. Canada's Buy Now, Pay Later market reached $9.53 billion in 2026, growing 16.5% year over year, according to Collector HQ citing market data. That means more of this once invisible debt is now landing on Canadians' credit files, and a collections entry can sit there for 6 years in most provinces. Here is the sharpest number in all of this. Even a tiny $50 to $100 BNPL debt that lands in collections can drop your credit score by 80 to 150 points, according to Collector HQ. That is enough to knock you from prime to subprime, or block mortgage or apartment rental entirely. Now here's the catch buried in this, and it is not fair. Most Canadian BNPL providers do not report your on-time payments, so paying perfectly usually does nothing to build your score, according to Collector HQ and creditresources.ca. But serious delinquencies and collections absolutely do get reported as negative items on Equifax and TransUnion, so the risk is one-directional. So here's what to do now. Pull your Equifax and TransUnion reports and scan the trade lines for any BNPL entries, then log into every provider app and list your outstanding balances and next payment dates. Where you can, shift recurring purchases to savings or a card that reports positive history instead of invisible BNPL balances. This is general information, not personal advice, so check your own circumstances before acting. Before I get to the last part, which is the most counterintuitive piece of all this, remember the running cost. Late BNPL payments typically cost $8 to $15 per missed installment, according to Collector HQ, and 3 overlapping plans can mean $24 to $45 in fees in a single month. If this is useful, subscribe. The next breakdown is already coming. And here is that counterintuitive finale. BNPL is not fully scored yet, but that is exactly why it is dangerous. A senior compliance officer at Equifax Canada confirmed the data is being examined for scoring, but is not currently factored into scores, according to reporting cited by MoneySense. That means underwriters can already weigh your BNPL obligations manually, so you carry the downside now with none of the upside. The rules on how BNPL feeds into your actual score are changing as we speak, and I'll break down each shift so nothing catches you off guard. Next, I'm covering how a single collections entry quietly pushes a Canadian mortgage from prime to subprime rates. If you want to catch that, subscribe so you don't miss it. Treat this as general information, not personal advice, and always check your own situation.